Are you ready to put some sparkle to those sticker sheets?
Are you a little sour because you can't do it?
I stand for sticker justice.
That's me, Critterosity, aka Sticker Moon, and I'm going to show you the things you're going to need to make your sticker sheets sparkle. Now it's time to be the champion of sticker sheets. I have another tutorial that you can find here about making sticker sheets, but this one is just all about the sparkle. This special contact paper is amazing and has grids on the back. Now what you want to do is make sure you don't cover your guidelines. The guidelines have to be seen in order not to throw off your calibration, so make sure to mark off where you need to cut. I've made marks on my actual cutter so that I always know where to go. This is just a fun little tip, and I have it for the large sheet and also for the small sheet. Once you go to lay it down, before you start, you want to first just make sure you cut it correctly. And once you think you have cut it correctly, we are going to peel back a little bit and we're going to snip off just about a ½ inch or even ¼ inch of our paper. Be careful of those pesky craft hands because you will leave fingerprints. All right, you want to line up the bottom first that still has the paper intact. Once you've got it pretty much lined up, nothing is covering your guidelines, you can press down and get it stuck to the top of your sheet. Now take a hand squeegee, anyone is fine, but I do use these ones with a little bit of a felt at the bottom, and I'm just working the paper down. Just know the bubbles can arise, so to avoid those pesky bubbles, we want to make sure we just work the paper down slowly, and there you have it. It should be intact. I also use the squeegee when I apply it to my mat, as my mat is old and does need some extra help for stickiness. Now, why tape down the edges when you do lose stickiness with the mat? You can save all of these remnants and use these for your corners. Here I am showing you all the pieces I've saved, and look, no need to use up that tape. We want to make sure we avoid the guidelines, turn it to sticky note, and more pressure. And lastly, I want to pick the deep point blade as that's the one I'll be using to make sure I get through that extra thick coating. Now, I want to make sure my blade is facing the correct direction, and here we go. I always like to show when there's a mistake, and in this case, you're going to see that my guidelines did not line up correctly. Take a look as you're about to cut, because sometimes you'll walk away and find out it starts in the wrong place. You can see it didn't even graze the guideline. So all I did was close out, restart, and it worked perfectly. Sometimes it will be off and you need to recalibrate your machine. This only takes a few minutes, not a big deal, but it does happen from time to time. Usually it's because the sticker sheet is shiny and it's throwing off the reading in the machine. So you just have to do one quick calibration test and you're usually good to go for several more cuts. All of our machines are unique, just like all of us. So sometimes my settings won't work for you. It's something you have to test out, but at least here's a little bit of a guideline to follow. You want to make sure that you cut the edges several times so that it cuts it out. Now, when the machine's done, it's going to stop. Instead of exiting or releasing the mat, what you want to do is maybe hit the C one more time. And I do have a hack here at the end so that you don't forget how to do that. In this case, I had to do 3 times when I did this sheet because you'll see right now, I show you how it didn't cut all the way through, even going over it twice. Now, just like all of us, each day there's a different personality, and this one is a naughty personality. It's leaving remnants and tearing my paper, so I had to go back and do some sticker tests. I had to peel, find out where it was tearing, and then go back and decide to do a 3rd round. Yes, 3 times I've had to do this. Maybe you want to leave a comment on how you get a nice, crisp, clean cut when you're using the sparkle contact paper. So we're testing this again. Here's the hack. If you want to cut through it several times, you can use a dry erase marker on some of this sparkle sticker sheet, the contact paper. That way you can write down and cross off when you've done X amount of rounds. In this case, I have a couple little spots where it went through the back of the paper. Not a big deal. They're going to throw the paper away anyway. And I used some invisible tape to hide those little spots. Now I'm finding out that, hey, it didn't really cut through these little pieces. No problem there. I've got my little weeder tool and I'm just going to go through and take those little pieces off so my customer doesn't have to.